Welcome to Movie Time. Today, we're thrilled to present our picks for the top 10 best movies of 2026 that will keep you on the edge of your seat. These upcoming releases are packed with non-stop suspense, jaw-dropping twists, and heart-racing action that promise to keep you hooked from start to finish. Get ready for a sneak peek at the most anticipated films of next year. If you enjoy these movie rundowns, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and share this video with your movie-loving friends. Stay tuned until the very end and let us know in the comments which 2026 movie you're most excited to watch. Number 10. The Bride. The Bride reimagines Mary Shelley's classic Frankenstein with a bold, punk-inspired lens, set against the backdrop of 1930s Chicago. The story begins with Dr. Euphronius, a brilliant but controversial scientist who is approached by Frankenstein's monster, a tormented being played by Christian Bale. Haunted by loneliness and a desire for companionship, the monster implores Euphronius to create a partner for him. Together, they identify a murdered young woman whose body can be resurrected, setting the stage for the creation of the Bride, played by Jessie Buckley. Upon revival, the Bride awakens with her own consciousness, struggling to understand the limits of her existence. She is both awe-inspiring and terrifying, embodying a mix of fragility and fierce rebellion. As she navigates this new reality, she confronts societal norms and the shadowy figures who seek to exploit her. The film is set to be released on March 6, 2026. Number 9. Wuthering Heights. Wuthering Heights offers a bold, sensual reimagining of Emily Bronte's classic novel. The film stars Margot Robbie as Catherine Earnshaw and Jacob Elordi as Heathcliff. Set against the haunting backdrop of the Yorkshire moors, the story explores the intense and destructive bond between Heathcliff, a brooding orphan taken in by the Earnshaw family, and Catherine Earnshaw. Societal expectations and class divisions create a rift between them. Catherine's eventual marriage to Edgar Linton, a well-bred gentleman, intensifies Heathcliff's feelings of betrayal and ignites a cycle of vengeance that haunts both families for generations. The narrative is imbued with heightened romantic and erotic energy, embracing a visually rich, modern twist. The movie is scheduled for release on February 13th, 2026. Number 8. Return to Silent Hill.
Hold the darkness, you can't keep it away.
Return to Silent Hill is a psychological horror that follows James Sunderland, a man tormented by the loss of his wife Mary. Years after her passing, James receives a mysterious letter, seemingly written by Mary, urging him to return to the eerie town of Silent Hill, a place filled with dark memories. Upon arriving, he finds Silent Hill transformed. The film is scheduled for theatrical release on January 23, 2026. Number 7. Cold Storage.
But it's big.
Cold Storage is a science fiction horror comedy set in a remote self-storage facility built atop an abandoned U.S. military base. The story follows Tea-Cake and Naomi, two employees working the night shift. Their ordinary, monotonous work life takes a terrifying turn when a long-sealed parasitic fungus, stored underground by the government decades earlier, escapes into the facility. Initially dormant, the organism reacts to rising temperatures, rapidly mutating into a highly dangerous, brain-controlling parasite. Its effects are gruesome. Victims' bodies become distorted and hostile, while their minds fall under the fungus's influence, spreading the infection like wildfire. Realizing the gravity of the situation, Tea-Cake and Naomi are forced to confront the horrors they encounter. They soon receive help from Robert Quinn, played by Liam Neeson, a retired bioterrorism expert who possesses knowledge crucial to stopping the outbreak. The film's set for release on February 6, 2026 in the United States. Number 6. 28 years later, The Bone Temple.
Experienced.
The Bone Temple is a zombie horror that 28 years after the initial outbreak of the Rage virus, humanity has endured generations of trauma. While the infected still linger in remote areas, the greater danger now comes from fractured survivors, desperate communities, and those who exploit fear for power. The story follows Dr. Kelson, a brilliant but conflicted scientist who discovers a radical way to reshape humanity's future. His pursuit of knowledge draws him into a shocking relationship that could either save or doom what remains of civilization. Parallel to his path, Spike, a young survivor hardened by violence, encounters Jimmy Crystal, a charismatic figure who hides ruthless intentions. What begins as a chance meeting spirals into a suffocating nightmare, trapping Spike in a web of manipulation and control. Building on the legacy of 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later, this new chapter expands the saga's scope, blending visceral horror with raw human drama. The movie is scheduled for release on January 16, 2026. Number 5. The Rip.
$20 million. Where do you want to start?
The Rip is an action thriller set in the heat of Miami. A narcotics task force led by Lieutenant Dane Dumars, played by Matt Damon, and Detective Sergeant J.D. Byrne, played by Ben Affleck, makes a routine raid on a crumbling stash house. Inside, instead of the expected drugs, they uncover millions of dollars in hidden cash. What begins as a triumphant bust quickly transforms into a dangerous moral dilemma. The officers face a choice: follow protocol and report the money, or conceal it and change their lives forever. As word of the discovery leaks, fractures spread within the team. Some argue for integrity and the risks of exposure, while others are seduced by greed and the promise of escape from their struggles. The unit's unity begins to unravel, trust erodes, and long-standing loyalties are tested. The film is scheduled to be released globally on Netflix on January 16, 2026. Number 4. Project Hail Mary. Project Hail Mary is a science fiction adventure that follows Ryland Grace, a middle school science teacher who unexpectedly wakes up alone aboard a spaceship called the Hail Mary with no memory of how he got there. Gradually, Grace recalls that he volunteered for a last-ditch mission to save humanity from an existential threat. A mysterious microorganism called astrophage is dimming the sun, threatening to plunge Earth into an irreversible ice age. As he pieces together his mission, Grace realizes the stakes are enormous. He must travel to a distant star system to find a solution and prevent the extinction of life on Earth. The film explores the isolation and mental challenges of long-term space travel, showing Grace coping with solitude, the pressure of his mission, and the slow recovery of his memories. During his journey, Grace makes a remarkable discovery: an alien life form named Rocky from a planet orbiting the star system affected by astrophage. The movie is scheduled to be released on March 20, 2026. Number 3. Whistle. Whistle is a chilling teen horror story that follows a group of high school misfits who stumble upon an ancient Aztec artifact known as the Death Whistle. The group, bound together by their outsider status at school, doesn't fully grasp the artifact's terrifying power. When they blow the whistle, it emits a piercing, otherworldly sound that awakens an unstoppable force linked to their own futures. One by one, the whistle summons manifestations of their deaths, hunting them relentlessly with a supernatural precision. As the body count rises, fear and paranoia take hold of the remaining friends. They realize the whistle doesn't just predict death, it accelerates it, turning ordinary situations into deadly encounters. The film's set for release on February 6, 2026 in the United States. Number 2. Star Wars: The Mandalorian and Grogu. The Mandalorian and Grogu is a Star Wars film that continues the journey of Din Djarin, played by Pedro Pascal, and his Force-sensitive apprentice, Grogu, Baby Yoda, following the events of the Disney Plus series. In the aftermath of the Galactic Empire's fall, the New Republic enlists Din Djarin and Grogu to confront the remaining Imperial warlords who threaten galactic stability. The story explores themes of mentorship and legacy, appealing to both longtime fans and new audiences. The teaser trailer showcases a mix of action and heart, featuring high-speed chases, intense battles, and Grogu's endearing antics. Fans can expect a cinematic experience that honors the legacy of Star Wars while introducing fresh narratives and characters. The film is set to be released on May 22, 2026. Number 1. Mortal Kombat 2.
Where the hell am I?
Mortal Kombat 2 is a martial arts action fantasy that continues the epic saga of Earthrealm's warriors as they face an even greater threat. Following the intense events of the first film, Cole Young and his allies prepare for the next Mortal Kombat tournament, a brutal competition that will decide the fate of their realm. The stakes have never been higher. If Earthrealm loses the powerful warlord, Shao Kahn will invade from Outworld, conquering and destroying everything in his path. Shao Kahn's army, including deadly fighters like Baraka and Jade, bring chaos and destruction, challenging the heroes at every turn. Amid this looming war, a new warrior emerges. Johnny Cage, a cocky but talented fighter, and Hollywood action star who is drawn into the conflict. His arrival adds a new dynamic to the team as they train and prepare for the ultimate showdown. The movie is scheduled for release on May 15, 2026, after being delayed from its original date of October 24, 2025. Thank you so much for sticking around until the end of this video. If you enjoyed what you watched, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on our future content. Feel free to leave a comment down below, share your thoughts, or suggest topics you'd like to see in upcoming videos.